Hi Flosstube, I'm Tamara, the PD Stitcher, and this is my channel about cross stitch. You can find me here on YouTube as PD Stitcher and also on Instagram as PD Stitcher. It's been a while. 3 weeks ago today, I filmed my last Flosstube. Even had a giveaway, said we would do the giveaway the next week. And then life, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Welcome to those of you who are returning. Thank you, friends, for coming back I'd say each week, but it's been a while. But each time. And for those of you who are new, thank you for stopping by. I hope if you're not a subscriber that maybe you'll see something you like and you'll hit the subscribe button and keep coming back. So, where have I been? A couple weeks ago, my son was sick and we thought it was just strep throat because it lasted all of like a day and a half. And then about 3 days later, I got sick. Okay. Thinking I probably got strep throat from him. Yeah, no. I ended up testing positive for COVID. I was very sick for about a week and a half. I would not wish COVID-19 on anyone. It was absolutely miserable. I had just about every symptom that is listed when I spoke with the DHEC lady who called to kind of, after I had my positive test, they called to do the contact tracing and just all the documentation that the DHEC has to do. She went through the list of symptoms. Did you have this? Did you have a cough? Did you have a fever? Did you have... Yeah, yes. I had everything except nausea and vomiting, thankfully, because I don't do vomiting well, so I'm glad that was not one of my symptoms, but that was about the only symptom I did not have. So I was pretty sick. And in saying that, I was so sick, even though I literally the second I started feeling sick, I isolated myself into my bedroom. We had a little basket that we put right inside my bedroom door so that if I needed anything, like food, my family would bring it up, put it in the basket, and then leave. Excuse me. And then as soon as they left, I would get up out of my bed, get whatever it was, and usually it was just food because there wasn't a whole lot else. There was some paperwork I had to do to take care of for the girls for cross country, and so they had to bring up the paperwork, and then I filled it out and did all that. But I had my computer up there because I still had to do some work. I had my stitching upstairs with me, but I never used it. It was so hard to even just focus my eyes to stitch. I laid in bed and watched a lot of trash TV, or listened to a lot of trash TV, because I didn't even really watch it. I just laid there and went in and out of sleep for several days. So there's not a lot of stuff for me to show today. It's been 3 weeks, I don't have much to share. And so, there's that. But that's where I've been. I'm much better now. My family was allowed out of quarantine after last Saturday. So last Saturday I could have filmed a Flosstube, but I was still just so weak and tired that it wasn't going to happen. It's going to be a long recovery. I get winded just walking up and down the stairs, So now that I'm able to at least focus and do, I get to have actually more stitching time because I can't do much else. Like I said, I get winded just walking up and down the stairs, so I don't have to clean my house yet. Well, I need to clean my house, but it takes too much energy. So if I can't clean, I might as well stitch. So that's what I've been doing the last few days. It's a lot more stitching, but still there's not much to share. So I have no finishes because I have no finishes. I still have a little bit of a cough, so I apologize. So I have some whips to show. I did have a new start. I had my birthday start this past week. I was not sick on my birthday. I was out of quarantine, thankfully, because that would have really been a terrible birthday. So I do have a new start. I'll share some plans now that we're heading into September. Can you believe it's already September this week? This year has been the longest year ever, and it's flown by at the same time, and I'm not really sure how those two things connect, because that doesn't sound like they match up. But I would bet most of you would agree with me. It feels like the longest year ever. The last 8 months have taken about 8 years. But also, just yesterday was January. I don't understand how that works. The space-time continuum has been all out of whack for 2020. I don't have any haul. No haul. I've not gone anywhere or done anything, and I haven't even shopped online. So, and then I will do the giveaway winner today. I am so sorry it's taken so long. I didn't forget. I just couldn't film a Flosstube. And then we'll do the quote. So let's get started. What have I actually been working on since, for the last 3 weeks, since it's been so long? So, February by the Cricut Collection. I have been doing 100 stitches a day. Well, except for the days that I didn't stitch at all. But this is my 100 stitch a day project for August. Is the February one, and I love this pattern, but it's so hard to see the cover image because it's kind of small. But it's so pretty, and I started it in Mania, and because February is 6 months from now, I worked on it for the month of August as my August focus piece. And I got, so far I've gotten the F, the E, and the B, and the R. And then I started on the U. So I am over halfway. I love all these little hearts inside the U. They're so pretty. That one's not showing up real well on camera, but you can see it kind of in real life. I may go back and outline that one with maybe one of the deeper pinks. Maybe this pink. I don't think I'll use the bright pink, but I might just outline that one with a little deeper pinks just so it'll show up a little better. So that was my focus piece for August. And we have a couple more days left in August, so I'm hoping to finish the U. That will just leave me 3 more letters. I don't think I'm going to finish the piece before February. I don't know. I might. Who knows? Okay, so the next thing I worked on was, you'd think I'd never done this before. That was on 32 count Bramble from Picture This Plus. By the way, if you hear anybody ever say that COVID gives you brain fog, they would be right. My COVID brain is worse than pregnancy brain was. Yeah. Words are hard. Words are hard normally when I sit down to do a Flosstube. But words have been hard all the time lately. When I was writing up my notes, which is what I keep looking at when I look down, I'm looking at my notes. When I was writing up my notes, I couldn't spell. I'm usually a really good speller. I couldn't spell. I kept leaving out letters. It wasn't that I didn't know how to spell the word. I knew how to spell the word. I just couldn't remember to put the letters. So it's a thing. COVID brain fog is a thing. And I am on the struggle bus with it. So the next thing that I worked on was Clemson University Tigers, which is from easypatterns.blogspot.com. And it's basically just the Clemson University football helmet, because I graduated from Clemson, my husband graduated from Clemson. my children who follow football cheer for Clemson. I have some children who don't follow football and really could care less. But my son, this is for my son, and eventually it's going to be a flat fold finish when I finish. So this was my piece that I worked on. I was doing dodgeball in Semi-Sane, which is now a closed group. I was playing dodgeball, and I got hit one day, right before I ended up getting sick with COVID. But I got hit with like 9 balls and had to do 900 stitches. This piece was great for that because it was just huge blocks of color. Especially all of this orange in here. And there's only 4 colors in this piece. There's the black, the white, the orange, and then there's this little stripe of bluey purple, which is not really showing up. The lighting in here is not great. I'm sorry. But it's really humid, so there's no sun coming in through the little windows because they're covered with water, condensation, dew, whatever you want to call it. But this is on 28 count antique white jobelan, and I'm stitching it 1/1. Otherwise this piece would be humongous. So I am actually, I've made pretty good progress with this. I have this little bit right here that I think needs to be filled in with orange. And then, I promise y'all, I've done this before, you'd think I haven't. And then I need to finish the face mask. And this will be done. I'm very excited. This may actually be done before the end of football season. If football season gets to actually happen. We shall see. The ACC, which Clemson is in, has decided to go ahead and play football this fall for as long as they can. So I'm hoping there will be a couple of games at least. If you're wondering, this is water. I don't drink anything but water during the summertime because it's hot. In the winter, I drink water, I drink hot chocolate. I'm not a very adventurous person when it comes to food and drink. But the good thing is I don't drink soda. So I don't drink coffee, I don't drink tea. I don't drink any of the carbonated, caffeinated, all of that. Which you would think would help me not gain weight. Unfortunately, I make up for in eating what I do not put, the sugars and calories I don't put in my body in sodas. I put them in food, so you know. Alright, the next thing I worked on is Cardinal in the Snow, which is a full coverage piece from X Squared Cross Stitch on Etsy. And I will do my best to remember to link the designers for this and the Clemson one. I'll do my best to link those in the description box below. So if you are new to Flosstube or new to YouTube, to find the description box, underneath this video, you will see where it has like the name of the video. And there should be a little down arrow, an upside down triangle. Click on that and it will open up the description box where I will have as much linked as I remember to link. So, next is pretty, it would help if I actually showed you what I've worked on. Y'all, I'm so sorry, the lighting in here is really bad today. So, I'm still just working on background. Just background. And I'm hoping, I'm waiting, because I keep forgetting to ask my husband. My daughter bought me that pattern for Mother's Day. Yes, Mother's Day. And so my husband actually bought it, and so the link to the PDF went to his email and not to me. They printed it out. They printed out all the pages. But for my birthday this week, my husband gave me a brand new tablet. So I now have an Android tablet. So I downloaded Pattern Keeper. OMG. I'm so excited. But I'm hoping I can get the PDF from him and that it will work with Pattern Keeper, because that will be a game changer for getting that done. Because it's not a hard stitch, but Pattern Keeper would make it even easier. And that I'm doing 1/1 on 28 count easy grid. Next, the next thing I worked on is Pretty Little San Francisco. I grew up in California. I grew up in Sacramento until I was like 8. And San Francisco was right down the way. And so I wanted to do this one because it was something that meant a lot to me. Also, when one of my girls competed at the USATF, USA Track and Field National Junior Olympic meet 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, in Sacramento, she and I took a day trip over to San Francisco. So that's just a memory for her and I to commemorate. And this is on 32 count Zweigart in the colorway Natural. I don't know where I got it. It may have been from just one of those Hobby Lobby fabrics. I honestly do not remember. I've not gotten a lot done. This was a 2020 Mania start. So I've done this. I've done a lot of the outline of the clouds. And then this tower right here. But this is going to take a while because I don't focus on any one thing for very long. And I've been doing arbitrary August when I have been stitching this month. It was started by Stitchin' Mommy. And so I would spend, on the days I have stitched, I did my 100 stitches on February, and then I would spend my little tiny decisions at wheel. And stitch the rest of the day on whatever came up on the wheel. But I haven't, like I said, I missed a whole week and a half of stitching, so there's 10 days that nothing got worked on. So the next thing is from the Be Will and Stitch. This was from the Blue Flower, Let Joy Be Unconfined. And I did a whole color conversion. Well, not a whole color, well, yes, because this was charted in Dinky Dyes, and I don't know Dinky Dyes, so I converted it. But I also wanted to use a darker fabric than what this is shown. This is shown on a light background, and I wanted to use a dark background, so I converted a lot of this. So this is what it looked like if I did it the way it was done, but I'm stitching it on 32 count Nocturne. So this is how far I've gotten. I've gotten most of it done. I had it in the Q-snap, and the Q-snap was just covering this part, so I decided I'd already done the Uncon, the last word, and I didn't feel like moving the Q-snap to go back here when I already had that area empty, so I just decided to just go backward from the D, and I'm really hoping that it matches up. Because if it doesn't, I'm probably going to cry, because that means I'm going to have to frog a whole bunch. It looks like it might. If it's off by 1 stitch or 2 stitches, I might be able to fudge it a little to get it to match up. But I'm hoping that I counted correctly off of these flowers and that it will match up. But we shall see. So I have the FIN left here, and then the flowers that go underneath. And then this will be done. So this should be done by the end of 2020. I'm seeing some that I might be able to do by the end of 2020. I'm not sure. Sammy J from Sammy J Stitches did finish that stitch December last year, and I think she's planning to do it again this year, and I might join her in that. There's a couple that I know of. There's like 2 or 3 pieces that I think would be close to a finish, that I might be able to put in for Finish That Stitch December. And if I can get a little bit closer in the next couple of months on some other projects, I might actually have a decent Finish That Stitch December, which will open up 2021 to a whole new bunch of new starts, because I have to have 50-something whips or my life won't be complete. I don't know why I need that many whips. I can't possibly work on that many projects in any short amount of period of time, but that's okay. And I know I'm not one of those people that has the most whips. There are people that have more power to you. I used to be a monogamous stitcher. No, I have 50 whips right now. So I'm hoping to get that number back down. And then 2021, I'll start more new things. Because even though there's a large group of people from Virtual Stitchers who are going to do no new starts in 2021, I know me, that's not going to happen. So I'm not even going to join that group because it would be an effort and futility. The next thing that I worked on is from Hands On Design. This is Autumn Skies, the This Way to the Pumpkin Patch one, with the pumpkins and the arrow and the words. And I have worked on this 2 days. I started this during Mania this year, Mania 2020, and I had the top row pumpkins and 3 pumpkins here. And then yesterday I worked and I got this pumpkin, these 3 pumpkins, and the vine, and the arrow. Well, the top part of the arrow, the line part of the arrow. There, the light is now catching it with the right colors. So, I have 2 more pumpkins, and the bottom part of the arrow, and the words. So this is another one that if I worked on it maybe 1 or 2 more days, it could be done. So this is another one that might end up in Finish the Stitch December. Yay. So now we're up to 3 now that I think I've shown today that look like they could be finished by December. Wow. That would bring me from 50 to 47, you know. I told y'all I did have a new start. My birthday was this past Tuesday. For my birthday, my husband gave me the tablet. That was the only stitching related gift that I got. Well, actually, no, that's not true. My daughter, one of my daughters, I don't know why I say my daughter, I have 4 of them. One of my daughters bought me some, and I didn't bring them in here, and I'm not going to go get them because by the time I got back, I'd be winded and y'all wouldn't want to listen to me breathe hard while I'm trying to talk. But she bought me these cute little Disney buttons, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, dressed in little Christmas outfits, so that I can cut the shanks off and make them into needle minders, because she knows that I enjoy doing that. Like, I took this was a button, a little donut. I'm trying to get the light to catch it, but it was a button, and I took the button part off and made it into a needle minder, because if I find buttons that I think are cute, I would like to use them as needle minders, because I'm not going to use them as buttons. I don't have anything to put them on. But they're cute, so I want them. So she bought me some so I can turn them into needle minders. And then I got the tablet, which is going to be a game changer for Pattern Keeper, because it's amazing and it makes me very happy that it makes stitching easier. So I did print this out, but this is now on Pattern Keeper on my tablet. This is Rosetta by Ink Circles. And I'm doing the outside border pieces in Week Style Works Kohl, and then each of the medallions is going to be a different color. I've got 4 colors that I've chosen, so I'll use 4 different colors, and then so whatever this one is will be the same color that way. And so it'll just rotate. So this is my color palette. Sorry. The chair moved and all my stuff was on and moved a little further away. So this is my color palette, if I can get it all together. don't know why I'm having so many struggles this morning, but that's okay. So I've got, this is the Weeks Dye Works coal for the border, and then these 4 colors are going to be the different medallions. So it's Weeks Dye Works Cactus, Weeks Dye Works Love, Gentle Art Peacock, and Weeks Dye Works Concord. And like I said, the lighting in here is not fantastic today, but these are all fairly, some of them are more variegated than others, more obviously variegated, but they've all got some subtle variegation. And this is how far I've gotten. And I'm doing this 1/2 on 40 count Dusty Road from Seraphim Fabrics. And I don't know if it's going to show, but this coal has some lighter gray and then some darker black areas, and it's really, really pretty in person. And then this first medallion is in Peacock, and you can see the darker teal. You can't really tell it's teal because the lighting stinks, but then the lighter teal. And I'm just really excited to see this transform. And that was 2 days worth of work on this. I worked on it Tuesday on my birthday, and then I didn't feel like doing arbitrary August on Wednesday because I wanted to keep working on this. So I worked on this Wednesday too. And that is everything I've worked on in the last 3 weeks, which is not really a lot for 3 weeks of work, but you know, it's better than not getting any stitching done. I keep telling myself, this is not my job. I don't get paid to stitch. Wouldn't that be nice if I did? But I don't. So the fact that I didn't get to stitch for a week and a half, or couldn't stitch for a week and a half, the world kept turning and things kept on going. Nobody died because I couldn't stitch. I didn't die because I couldn't stitch. So we'll just keep on going. I'll keep stitching now. And yeah. So, y'all, I stuck all of my whips on top of my phone, which I'm going to use for the giveaway, so sorry. Alright, so we'll do plans and then the giveaway winner, because I'm excited. Plans. So, September's going to start on Tuesday. Doesn't seem possible, but September starts on Tuesday. And I'll move on from February by the Cricut Collection as my focus piece to March by the Cricut Collection will be my focus piece. I didn't bring that in here with me. I'm not going to go get it. I'll show it to you next weekend. I will film next weekend. I don't know what day. My youngest has a soccer game 2.5 hours away on Saturday, so I don't know if I'm going to have time to film Saturday morning before I go to her game. If I go to her game, my husband may end up going by himself with her. It'll just depend on if I think I can sit out in the sun and the heat for that long wearing a mask, which is fine. I'm glad that they're making people wear masks while they watch the soccer games. I've been a big proponent of masks since just about the beginning of this, when it looked like it wasn't going away in a couple weeks. I'm definitely a proponent of masks now. Wear your mask. Keep other people safe. You don't know if you have it or not. You just don't. There's a lot of asymptomatic people that are walking around, and you don't know if you could be contagious. And I know when I was sick, my biggest concern was making sure nobody else got sick. So if I left my room for any reason, and there were a couple times I needed to, I wore a mask inside my house to protect my children, because that's the right thing to do. And my husband, to protect my husband too. But I wasn't around him as much. Because usually it was first thing in the morning if I came downstairs and needed, because I didn't want my kids touching my dirty laundry because germs. My girls and my son did a fantastic job keeping up the house. They cooked dinner. They did everything while I was sick. I didn't leave my room. I didn't have to worry about things happening in the house. Things were getting taken care of. But I needed clean clothes. I couldn't wear the same set of pajamas every day for 2 weeks. So I would bring down my clothes wearing my mask. And I would bring them down first thing in the morning and put them in the laundry and get that started. And I took a Clorox wipe and cleaned off every surface that I touched before I went back up to my room. And then once the clothes were washed, the girls would take over and move them from the washing machine to the dryer and then fold them and bring them up and put them right inside my room. But if I left my room for that, I wore a mask in my house because it's the right thing to do because I was sick. So please wear a mask. Having COVID is not fun. I beg you to wear a mask. Keep yourself safe. Keep everybody else safe. So, what else am I going to work on? What else are plans? There's a lot of whips I haven't touched in the last 2 months because in July, I did Christmas in July. And this month, I didn't stitch for 10 days. So there are a lot of whips I haven't touched. Those will be my first focuses once September starts. Other than the March by the Cricket Collection. That will be my everyday focus. And then the others, I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to put them in a wheel or if I'm just going to see which ones fit prompts in School of Magical Stitches and Semi-Sane and Full Coverage Phonetics and Cross Stitch Finish Line. I'm in a lot of groups. Supposedly to help keep me motivated. We'll see if I can use that to help keep me motivated. And then on the weekends, because most of the time on the weekends, that's my time when I, either Saturday or Sunday, depending on what else we have going on. One of those 2 days, I get to just sit down and stitch. So those are going to be my full coverage days, because I feel like when I'm doing a full coverage piece, it needs it, or like a big old project, a bop like the Rosetta. I can't just work on it for 30 minutes. I feel like that's just almost pointless by the time I get it all out and get everything organized. So I like to work on those on days when I know I can have a good amount of stitching time. So I think my weekends are going to be working on my bops, my big old projects, my full coverages, or Rosetta. On the 15th, I'm planning to start Pandemic by Long Dog Sampler. If you'd like to join me, if you haven't already started Pandemic, I know there are some people who have it, who downloaded it and haven't started it yet. I'd love for you to join me. Just reach out, let me know. We can start it together. But I'm going to start Pandemic. Definitely, I feel like I want to do it now. I downloaded it, I planned to do it, but I didn't really know. I kind of planned, okay, I'll start it in September, but now that I've actually